stay still. And oh, I hate this gummy shitty gun. This shit ain't for kids, bruh. What up everyone, it's your boy X-Man87 here, bringing you another Marvel Legends video, and what I have for you today is the Marvel Legends Black Widow Wave Crimson Dynamo Build-A-Figure Series Winter Soldier, and this is my most anticipated figure out of this whole set. But before I get into everything, if you could please leave a like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Now with that said, let's take a closer look at Winter Soldier's accessories first, and then we'll take a closer look at Bucky. Now to take a close look at one of the two accessories here, he comes with a handgun, which comes in a nice gunmetal color, and then his second accessory is an assault rifle in that same gunmetal color, so it looks really cool. And we've seen this before, I believe, in the Netflix Punisher and a few other figures before. Now to take a closer look at his head sculpt, my god, this thing is beautiful. Love the way it came out. I love the domino mask, the way that's sculpted. He's got a mean face. He's got some blue eyes, and only minor gripe I have is that this one is centered and this one's looking a little off to his left. Depending on what angles I'm playing in my photography, it won't bug me as much. And he has this nice stringy hair on both sides, so these side bangs just kind of come off to the side. Well, at least this one on his right. This one on the left is straight down. But looking at the head sculpt, yeah, man, it's so nice. I love the hair sculpt as well. He's got that short, long type of hair, and I really dig it. This looks very much like Winter Soldier Bucky, so this is really nice. And unfortunately, this head is on a freaking ball joint, man. We don't get the neck hinge, so yeah, I don't know why. This is the third figure in this wave with a freaking ball joint for a neck. I just don't like that at all. So as I was trying to pull off some sniper shots, I felt limited because of this neck movement, man. It's hindering, and I'm just not a fan of it. Really wish he was on a hinge. Now looking at the rest of the body, he is very tactical, which is how Winter Soldier should look. You got this harness full of pouches, and that's a separate piece, so that's really cool. And the harness is not removable, so if you want to take it out, you might have to freaking cut it, or you could just pull his arms up and slide it off like that. I tried, but it's way too tight. Might have to pop off one of the arms maybe, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. But I like how you get a nice blue wash on the vest, so that's really cool. You get some buttons right here on the side and on the back as well, so yeah, this looks so good. I'm taking a look at the right arm. It's a plain blue sleeve, and I'm not sure if this is a new piece. It might be, but I'm not sure. I feel like it's new though. And then he has some fingered gloves right here, and trigger fingers on both hands, which is what I'm bummed about, because I really wanted to do some shots of my Winter Soldier doing a freaking mechanical arm type of punch and doing something devastating, and I can't do it. It's a shame. Should have had alternate hands, but he's got blue gloves on this hand, and he has a watch as well, so I guess you can count this as a third accessory if you want. So you can take that out if you want. And then looking at the arm, I think this is a new arm actually. They didn't use the movie one, which I'm happy, so they try to keep it, you know, as comic accurate as possible. And then he has the Captain America shield on his left shoulder, so I really wish this mechanical arm was chrome. How dope would that have been, right? That would have been super dope. Or a more metallic color. I feel this is a little on the dull side. So, and since he has the Captain America shield logo on his left arm, this means that this was the hero Winter Soldier, not the villain. As you know, the villain sported the red star on his arm, so in the comics that's when he was brainwashed by the KGB, not Hydra. You know, the movies made him, they had to make it fit cinematically, so they made him a Hydra. But hey, if they ever make a villain Winter Soldier with this, you know, I'll throw him in my Hydra display because he'll look freaking awesome. That's where I got this guy on my display. But I really wish it was a swappable arm, so we could have had the two, and then an alternate head for like the villain face, you know, so he could sport like the all white pupils. That would have been cool. Now that I have the two side by side here, you can see that This one had the same type of hairstyle. You know, you got the side bangs, but it's not as long as this one where they're kind of like, you know, sticking off to the side, and you know, then it looks good. Now looking at the rest of the lower body, he sports this brown belt, which was recently used on the camo Punisher figure, if I'm not mistaken. I guess that's how you call them, but yeah, that's the same. It's the same belt, as you can see, so it's a good choice for this figure. So he's gonna have some magazine clips right there, extra pouch, probably like for a detonator or something, a dagger, and the pistol right there. But you can't remove the handgun. It's so annoying, because that would have been so cool if you were able to put his handgun on there. And he has a grenade on the other side right there. So yeah, the belt is removable, so you could just, you know, detach it from there. And the legs are the same as that camo Punisher that I just showed you, which originally came from the Netflix Punisher. This one has the thigh straps, same as that camo Punisher, so just in a brown color this time around. You really don't get a wash here, you know, you just get some extra sculpt, like a pocket right there, and it has that wrinkly, baggy, militant type of look, so, you know, looks good. And then you got his boots, and you got the laces sculpted in the middle, and then, you know, the threads at the bottom of the feet look real nice. So yeah, now taking a full look at Winter Soldier up and down. Again, he has that awesome tactical look. So just to let you know, this isn't Hasbro's first attempt at a Winter Soldier. This is their second attempt at a comic Winter Soldier. The rest were like movies. So I really loved this one when it came out. But those legs, oh, they had to go, man. I just hated those legs, and I always wanted an updated Winter Soldier, and now I finally have it. But just to show you the difference here, you know, man, before, after, like, they just freaking killed it with this guy. And yeah, the mechanical arm doesn't have that cable like right there, but he does have a fist, man, and that's what I like. Hasbro gave this guy a nice wash, actually, from top to bottom, and this one we only got a wash on the vest. So but again, everything else still looks clean. You know, this guy had a removable pistol right here where the new one doesn't. So there are still things that I wish were applied from this old figure onto this one. You know, don't get how they were making a second attempt and not give him a removable gun for the holster when they did it in their dark days for their first Winter Soldier. So it's still, though, this one's just far superior. And to head swap, we'll just take this guy's head off. And so now you could do this, and actually this does not look bad on this older Hasbro body, and the older one doesn't look that bad on the newer one too. So I definitely think it works. And if you want to put the good guy head on to the newer body to see how that looks. Yeah, the head is way too small for this because it's making the neck look long. But let me know what you think of those head swaps, and yeah, this one's definitely better. This one came in a 2-pack with Black Widow, and there was a variant, so I just have the Red Star one, and that is the one I keep displayed on my Hydra shelf. So I had this. Did have the Captain America shield one, but I sold it as soon as I knew they were coming out with this one, so I'll have this guy on my Avengers display. And doing a head swap with the first Winter Soldier movie figure, it's another one that just doesn't work. Neck is too long, and on the movie body, it's just no neck present at all. And then doing another head swap with the Infinity War Wave Bucky, you get the same results. Now to cover Articulation with El Soldado de Invierno. Sorry, I just love saying his name in Spanish because it sounds so extra. But his head is on a ball joint, as I showed you before, so it moves up that much. It moves down that far. It moves left. It moves right. It does have good pivoting because of the ball joint, and it rocks around. His arms only move that far up. It moves down all around. You got the shoulder swivel, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that bend in more than 90 degrees, so really good. And on the right arm, you get more than a 90-degree bend as well, and you probably get a little bit more range because this is not as bulky as the mechanical arm. You got a wrist swivel and a wrist hinge, ab crunch that moves that far forward and that far back, waist swivel, legs move that far apart, it moves up that high, that's a bummer, and only moves back that much. His legs rock around, he has a thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and heel to the winter butt, yes. And his ankles move up that far, it moves down that low, and he has that good all-around ankle pivot. Now for some comparisons, here is Winter Soldier next to the first Winter Soldier figure made by Hasbro. And I'm just so happy that this new Winter Soldier has way better articulation. I mean, we get a better ab crunch, and we get a waist swivel, we get better leg movement as far as, you know, at the hip areas, because the first one, those hips were ugly, and we actually get like ankle pivot with this guy. Here is Bucky next to himself as Captain America, and here he is next to the 80 years Captain America. Here he is next to Black Widow, and finally here he is next to his movie counterparts from the first Winter Soldier movie to Civil War to Infinity War. Alright, now to wrap things up, my final rating is a 10 out of 10. Total awesomeness. Winter Soldier is one of my all-time favorite Marvel characters. When I read that Brubaker run, I was just in awe. When the Winter Soldier movie came out, it was the greatest Marvel movie I've ever seen at that time. And till this day, it's still my favorite. So I've been wanting an updated 6-inch comic Winter Soldier forever. I finally have that now. This figure actually gives me that Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes animated series look kind of vibe, and I love that show to death. This figure is damn near perfect. All he needed was a neck hinge, interchangeable hands, a swappable arm with a red star, and an alternate villain style head to switch between the two. I'm not gonna sweat it though. Knowing how Hasbro rolls, we might get that in a future wave or a multi-pack of some sort. I'm happy with how the paint and sculpt came out on mine for the most part. The handgun is nice, but the assault rifle is too damn gummy and needs something sturdier. At least I've collected enough accessories over the past few years to equip him with whatever I want to. Articulation is pretty solid too. I had a lot of fun taking pics of this guy that I didn't want to stop. That's how I know I really love a figure. I was originally going to give him a 9 out of 10, but my final verdict is always based on photography fun factor, as that's what enhances the hobby experience for me. And I just had an absolute blast. This figure is a must buy for sure. So now I kick things back to you guys. What do you guys think about this figure? And what is your favorite Winter Soldier depiction from either movies, comics, or cartoons? Let me know. So that was my review. Please drop a like rating on the video, comment, we'll chat about it. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, link is in the description below. Get your Marvel Legends Black Widow wave figures at Big Bad Toy Store, link is in the description below. Share and subscribe if you're new. Enjoy the pics at the end of the video. See you on the next review. Peace, peace.